Hello everyone, welcome to Education Lecture. In this video, I'll be teaching you the 9th lesson, that is, I believe that books will never disappear, interview with George Louis Borges. If you are new to my channel, then subscribe my channel to get further new updates. As I had told in my previous videos that they won't ask you any questions regarding the author or the poet, it is same with this lesson also. After reading each para, I'll be telling you the summary of this each para. So let's get started. Roberto Alifano is an interviewer. George Louis Borges is an interviewee. So interviewer is a person who asks questions to the other one. So interviewer is a person who tells the answers to responding to the interviewer's questions. So Roberto Alifano, he asks George Louis Borges, what was your first literary reading, Borges? He asked, what was your first literary reading? So Borges tells that my first reading was Grimm's Fairy Tales in English version. So they'll ask you this for 1 mark. Which was his first reading literary done by Borges? So it is Grimm's Fairy Tales in English version. He was educated by his father's library. Means self-educated by his father's library, perhaps more than by high schools or the university. It doesn't mean that he has self-educated himself in his father's library only, but he has gone to school, he has gone to universities. In that, while he is getting educated in the schools, universities and all, together he was even self-educating himself in his father's library by taking few books and reading those too. So he tells this, he responds to the questions what Roberto asked him. So next Alifano asks him, that is Roberto Alifano asks him, can we talk about Donna Leonor, your mother? So don't get confused with the lesson Sunday morning, in that they have given Donna Laura. So here they have given Donna Leonor. So don't get confused. Donna Leonor is the mother of George Louis Borges. So he asked this question, and Borges says that his mother was an extraordinary person, and he is very he's very proud to have such a kindful mother. He says that he has got a gift from the God, the best gift ever. As we know, our best gift from the God is our parents. So he also says that my mother was an extraordinary person and she is very kind towards Borges, and he tells his secret that he was guilty for not being happy. Means he is not happy for having such a kindful mother, because here what guilty means, responsible for a specified wrongdoing. Means deserved means qualified. He is not have been deserved man to have such a kindful mother to him. This they'll ask as a paragraph question about his feeling about the mother. So they'll ask this question as a brief answer. So you should write this. So he says he is feeling guilty. So the reason why he feels guilty is, he says that it is common with everyone when their mother dies. Every child will feel very sad, very disappointed for not being a happy man. Means as we know that whatever we have, we don't feel satisfied with it. Still we want. But once we lose it, we feel that, oh, so nice it was having that a thing, or it is more attached to the parents' feelings. So he says, I must have been very attached to my mother, but I didn't feel like that. I was very guilty. Like guilty means he has uttered some mistake, that he was not a deserved man to have such a kind mother. So he says, for every child, when they lose their mothers, they feel like we have been taken her for granted, like the sun or the moon or the season. Like, I live, afterwards we'll do whatever mother says. I live, she is saying for something else. If our mother scolds, it is for her good only she scolds. For our future betterment only, she does everything for us. So that time when she is there, we won't feel those things and all. But when she is gone from the world, from this world, when she is gone to the heaven, don't write this and all, just for understanding sake, we feel very disappointed. She was guiding me in my studies, in my future careers. We feel like that. Same the way Borges also feels. So he says that we feel we have been abused her, that is insulted or not treated well. We feel we should have treated her still more, right, by giving responding to her guidelines whatever she gives. So we must have been like that, Borges says. And he says before her death, that is his mother's death, it doesn't down on us, we don't realize her. Till after our mother's death only we realize what is the real value of our mother. Until then, before she dies, we don't feel what is the value of her at all. And he says Borges' mother was an intelligent and a gracious woman, that is a kind, polite, pleasant woman who I believe had no enemies. So she was such a kindful woman. She would have not have any animism to other people. She was very kind to everyone. So this is about his mother. So next Alifano asks, please forgive me, Borges, for asking you this. What is blindness to you? As we know that George Louis Borges has become a blind man. Just for information, you can see in your Google. You can just Google and see. It is not like he has from the young age he's a blind. After certain age like 50s, 60s, he has become blind. So you may have seen many people like a sudden blindness. So he has, what is blindness to you? So Borges says, well, now it is a way of life for him, a way of life that is not entirely unhappy. So if they have given both negatives here, see, not is a negative word and unhappy is a negative word. So both negatives are given, it is a positive. What to do? He have to accept whatever happens to him in the life. So it is not entirely unhappy means, okay, it will give some happiness to him. It is not like that he is full disappointed. Oh, I am blind. He is not worrying about that. Whatever the resource have been given to us, we have to accept with it. That only has written. See, a writer, and I believe generally all persons must think that whatever happens to him or her is a resource. Resource is to develop personal qualities that allow one to cope with difficult circumstances. Now you would have seen many times in your few subjects like your maths, science, sometimes you would have scored the least, means whatever you expected, than that you would have scored. But you will feel I should have been little I should have been practiced more maths, formulas, science, everything, so that I would have scored more than this. But the paper was too easy. How can I leave this? Next time I damn sure I will score the more than the expected marks. So that is only the resource to develop personal qualities. So we are only giving positive remarks to ourselves that yes, next time I will do this, I will score and get the highest marks in my exam. So that is only there is to develop our personal qualities and allow to cope up with difficult circumstances. How much ever the difficult may be the paper, I will study better and I will score better in the exams. And you will defeat your own marks. It doesn't mean that you have to defeat your friends. You can defeat yourself with your own marks. That is the that is only the spirit. That should be your spirit, not that you have to defeat your friend's mark. So this is just for information. What is a resource meaning? Okay. So all things have been given to us for a purpose, and an artist must feel this more intensely, that is deeply. All this happened to us, including humiliations, that is to feel ashamed or stupid or misfortunes, bad luck or embarrassments, to feel awkward or ashamed. All is given to us as a raw material, as clay, so that we may shape our life. art is life. So whatever, sometimes in our life we may be ashamed in so many circumstances, ashamed, feel disappointment, we feel very hurted to ourselves. So that those are the things which will help us to cope up in our life. So these are few things which will help you to cope up in your future also. So according to Borges, he is saying a resource is what to do. Whatever the God gives to us, God knows what will be our future. So he will give us. So we have to adjust with whatever is given. If you have any, suppose for example, if you have a pen of 10 or 5 rupees or 3 rupees also we get pens, right? So few may adopt the 3 rupees pen. Few may adopt more expensive like 100 rupees Parker, Trimax or Terramax, whichever it is. Few may be adoptable, but few, both is same only, right? Pen. We can write with both also. So whatever we are able to afford, with that only we should be happy with it. So he says we have to get adjusted to it. That's all is the meaning of this. So next one is, he says Homer is a Greek poet, wrote the Odyssey, that is epic. The gods wrought and spun the skein of ruin, destruction of for men, that there might be a song for those yet to be born. So Aliphano says that asks these questions to him. So Borges says, well, it is same idea. In one of Borges's poem, that he says that humiliation, misfortune, discord, disharmony were given to us for so that we may transmute, change them, so that we may make from the miserable circumstances of our life external works or work that aspire to be so. They last forever. So we will remember from the disappointed, disharmony circumstances, whatever has happened, from that only we will be changing ourselves and be reaching to the higher position, that we will remember, with this disharmony which had happened once, of that reason only I have come up to this level in my life. So that only is saying, from that only the one of the moments which you won't forget in your life, that may be one in your life. So he says that a verse, a poem of Goethe, German poet, comes to mind. Alice nahi word ferin, all that near become far. According to Goethe is the sunset will become far from us. But Borges is saying not only the sunset, but also the things in our life too. That he's saying, Borges is saying, in my life, the visible world, that is, he has become blind, right? Suddenly, that has moved away, but surely he is not disappointed with that. But luckily, because of that reason, some of his hobbies have been changed to other things, like he has to accept, right? So some of the hobbies are changed, like still he buys books, still he fills his house with books, still he thinks he is not a blind, still he can read books. You may be imagining he is buying books, what is there, how can he read, those things and all. He has an assistant who has been appointed. That assistant will be reading out the books. When mother was there, mother was doing those things, but now the assistant does all those things for him. So the next para, there is a theme I would like us to speak about, the theme of books, the subject matter, topic of books. So Borges says, last night in his dreams, a strange dream had come that a great library was burning, and the library was the Library of Alexandria, which is located in Egypt. Okay, in this library there are countless, that is, we can't count at all, so many books are there. So those were attacked by flames, so those were burning. So he's asking to the interviewer that will this dream come true? Will this dream come true? Does it have any meaning? Volumes is books, So he asked to written question to interviewer. So Alifano says, perhaps, maybe Borges, could it be that you owe your readers a book on the history of the book? Have you ever thought of writing such a book? So he's asking whether you have idea of writing a history of book, that is from the starting, the origin of the books, when the books have been started. About that, you have any idea of writing about that books? And I would like to say, this Library of Alexandria in Egypt, really it was flamed once. I think they have given in glossary. See, they have given, see, here, one of the largest libraries of the ancient world, which was burnt. So it was actually burnt. And yeah, we'll come with next para. He is asking whether you have any idea of writing history of book. So he says, really I didn't have that idea, but it is an excellent idea and a wonderful what to say, it would be wonderful to write a book on history, but I am too old. Borges is too old right now. His age is 83 years. They won't ask any age and all. Just if you want to write in a brief answers, you can write. So his age is 83 years, and old man cannot set a mission, right? We have to go and search from when the origin had started, what were the types of books which were published. So those and all will be a huge work. So Borges is too old man. He could not do a machine, set up a machine like that. But he has told he will try. See, 83-year-old man can set such a project for himself. However, I now remember. So he remembers suddenly a person, that is Spengler, a German historian and a philosopher. In his Decline of the West predates Exists My Atom, for in it he writes remarkable comments on books. So this person writes the writes the origin of the books, few about the books, when it was published, few things like that, historical information he gives in his books, he writes. So he says, so it is interlinked, right? History of books means he's asking, he cannot set up Borges. So he's saying a person is there who writes few points in his books. Okay, next he says, Alifana asks, you quote the words of a Bernard. Bernard Shaw is an Irish writer. Every book worth being reread has been written by the Spirit. Borges said, yes. He completely concurred, that is, agree with the notion idea, since the book goes beyond its author's intention. The author's intention is a meager, that is, small thing, fallible. A writer can make a mistake. In a book, every book, there is a need of something more, which is always mysterious, not easy to understand. When we read an ancient book, it is as though we were reading all time that has passed from the day it has written to our present. So when we read a book, like a historical book about a history or something, as if we were reading from that day when the book has been written till the present day, till we are reading. So as I told in my previous videos, if you go through, if you read yourself, take a part yourself as a character and understand and read, you will understand more and you can write your brief answers, nicely or excellently. So he says like that, and a book can be full of errors. We can reject its author's opinion. So author may tell anything. The readers are we, right? If we read only, we will get to know what the author has made the mistake. If author only reads his own book, he won't feel that any mistake is there. So while reading a book, if we feel errors, the author will say some of the other opinions. No, we have done this, that, something and all he will give. So we should not listen to that and all. According to book, what is there? We should think that. So disagree with him. But the book always retains something scared, something mortal, living, something magical which brings happiness. So if there is any what to say, any mistakes in the book also, don't worry. If you read those chapters or the stanzas, verses, whichever book may be, it will have some meaning. So if you understand and read, we will understand it more, what the stanza or the para is saying. And he says that also, that now if you read a thriller book and we will be reading, we will expect, oh, this sequence may happen, that sequence may happen. We will be thinking, but the author would have written some other idea. That is only the mystery. So it here somewhere mysterious, always mysterious. So not easy to understand. Some books may be very historical. We may not understand really what the author is saying. Some book we will only expect, oh, this is the sequences which is going to happen, but the author's idea may be different, totally different from our idea. We will be expecting such sequences to happen in this story. So that is the meaning of that. Just for your information, I am simplifying it. Next he says, Borges, what is poetry? How would you define it? This will ask a paragraph question. What is poetry according to Borges? So Borges says, poetry is something intimate, personal, so essential, important, that it cannot be defined without oversimplifying it. It would be like attempting to define the color yellow, love, and the fall of leaves in the autumn. So you might have seen in many poems, if you say Romeo and Juliet only, right, he tells that she is like she is a cheek of night, bright as torch. So suddenly if you read at one glance, you won't understand what is this torch, cheek of night. But when you go through it, then we get to know that Romeo is describing the Juliet's beauty. Same like that only, every poems, without simplifying it. Some poeters will oversimplify it so that we readers can understand it at a glance. But few poems are such that if you read 2-3 times, it is same with now this book also, your English book. Every lessons, just while reading first time, you'll understand some story. At second time, when you reread everything 2 to 3 times, whichever lesson or poem, whichever subject it may be, we will get an extra information. Oh, this was the correct information. So that time you will understand better, and you may write more points in your exam summary. So it is same with poetry also. Without oversimplifying it, we would not understand. It is like same with the color yellow. Now yellow is there. If it is a pleasant yellow, it is a love. Or you might have seen in autumns, leaves will be in yellow shade. So these and all, if you write yellow, means it may be love, it may be falling of leaves, it may be, so a word may have many meanings, right? So it says it would be like attempting to define the color yellow, love, means simplifying it. Yellow, how can I oversimplify it? Love, how can it be oversimplified? Like that only. So he believes that poetry is an aesthetic act. Concerned or appreciation of beauty. Aesthetic means, so the poetry is not the poem. For the poem may be nothing more than the series of symbols. Poetry, I believe, is a poetic act. So they will ask you the question, when does the poetic act takes place? They will ask you this for 1 mark. Or they may ask you as a brief question also, when does the poetic act take place? Explain it briefly. So it takes place when the poet writes it, when the reader reads it, and it always happens in a slightly different manner. When the poetic act takes place, it seems to me that we become aware of it. Poetry is a magical, mysterious, and unexplainable, although not incomprehensible, that is, not able to understand event. If one doesn't feel the poetic event upon reading it, the poet has failed. So if you see the William Shakespeare poems and all, now he has written the first poem, Romeo and Juliet. In that he says the love of Romeo and Juliet. So he is also feeling the So here there is a poetic act when the poet writes it. He writes with a lovable form, feeling of that, and we read also, we feel how their love is. So if this event doesn't take place, this poetic event doesn't take place when we read a poem, if they say, now one of your friends may be offering, hey, read this poem and see. Read this poem. It is a love poem. You may understand, or you may a friendship poem, a parent poem. So those love feelings, they may say it is very heart touching. When we read, right? If we don't feel those heart touching feelings when we read that, then means the poet has failed, means he is not capable to achieve the love feelings. They may have published this is a lovable book for parents and their children, but if it doesn't have those feelings, the poet has failed in writing that poem. Next question is, Alifana asks, Borges, what is important in the art of poetry is finding the precise words, exact or apt words. So as I told, there may be one word will have many meanings. So a precise, correct word means we will understand, okay, this is the word will understand. So he says, Borges says, yes, precise word is what elect the emotion, bring out. So precise word, if you put now disappointment, you know what is disappointment. We are very disappointment, very unhappy with it. So we have many words for it. So it's like that, it will bring out emotion. We know what is the word meaning. So perfect, precise word is given means words are given. We will understand it more better. So he remembers another poem by Emily Dickinson, American writer. He is saying that her line, this court dust in gentlemen and ladies, the idea is bana means boring, the idea of dust and dust of death. So she has written the dust. This quiet dust was gentlemen and ladies. So we feel all be dust one day. So means one day everyone will die and they would be burnt or buried. If we are burnt, we may be dust one day. So it is a glitch, group of sentence or words overused. So it is a overuse, like dust, when we are death. It is a, what to say, very overused word. And he says, but what surprises is the phrase gentlemen and ladies. So she has used the precise word gentlemen and ladies. If she it is a magic in the poetic act, because it gives a magic to the poetic act, because if she had written men and women, it would have been failed. It would have been trivial, very small, no value. Men and women. This is gentlemen and ladies. But finding the precise word, she wrote, this quiet dust was gentlemen and ladies in common. It is a very, what to say, very precise word. If she had written men and women, it would sound little weird, right? So he says this is only about a poet. Next he asks, Borges, you have said that metaphors exist from our very beginnings. Could you explain on that concept, idea? He asked to Borges. So he says, yes, certainly, I believe that metaphors are truly metaphors which exist from the beginning of time. Before we start writing our books, right, in the historical early centuries, from then only metaphors were there. Borges is also accepting it. But we express them differently. So there are n number of metaphors in the English language, and there are they may express differently. Each metaphor may express differently, and occasionally, and he thought occasionally about reducing all those metaphors. So we have n number of metaphors, we can't remember all those. So he thought of reducing them to 5 or 6, which seem to be essential important metaphors. 5 or 6 means which would bring all the meaningful meanings which are needed for the poem. So he says, what are those metaphors? They will ask you this paragraph question, and one more question also they will ask, what are those metaphors which Borges has told. So time and river. So time goes on, even river also flows. Life and dreams. In life we always dream, and dreams also goes on. Death and sleep. A dead person, if you see a dead person, you would sleep. Just we feel like he is sleeping. So death and sleep. Stars and eyes. So you may see a few of them say that you have a sparkle in your eyes. So stars may be sparkling in the sky, right? Stars and eyes. Flowers are beautiful, fragrant. So flowers are beautiful, even women are beautiful, right? So he says these are the few ones. He believes those are the essential metaphors which they are found in all literature. These are the metaphors which are commonly found in every literature. And then others are little whimsical, fanciful. Okay, they have given you a glossary, but also whimsical means somewhat, you can see in your Google if you want. Whimsical means somewhat lot of metaphors are there, or something meaning would be different from the reality. Okay, I believe that poets task is to discover metaphors even though they may already exist. So poets should discover new things, right? Something new should be there in their poem. So their task is to discover metaphors in their poems. Already there may be existing more, but still if they discover few, it may be nice. So Alifano says, Borges, there are people who speak of the disappearance of books, and they assert the modern developments in the communications will replace them, books, with something more dynamic, new, energetic, that will require less time than reading. What do you think of that? This important question they'll ask. I believe that books will never disappear. This is the I know this is the lesson's name. You say, now they say that our technology has been grown, right? A lot of technological developments are there now. Everything has come in the hand. If we swipe everything, we get all the informations which are required. So many don't go to the cyber shops, many don't go and search in their books whatever information they get at a click in their smartphones or computer, laptops. If internet is there, is more than enough to get all the information we need, right? So nowadays those technologies are developing, and many are saying that books will sure disappear because of the technological development. He is saying, Borges is saying, no, those will not disappear. It is one of the important inventions of man, without a doubt the most astounding, surprising invention of man, and which will never disappear ever in life. And surprising, all the others are the extensions of our body. From our bodies, from our knowledge only, right? Others have been extended. Okay. Now, if you read few books before and all in centuries, in historical this one, in 90s, 80s and all, we didn't have smartphones like this. So we would go and search in their books only. So getting the knowledge from our books only, many of the scholars, many of the people have become big, they have got a name in the society. They have achieved the goals by reading the book. Then how can it disappear? Borges is asking. That from our knowledge only, right, every invention has come. From reading the books only, right, everything has extended. From our minds only, that the telephone, for example, is the extension of our voice. So telephone was invented because of the extension of voice. Telescope and microscope are extension of our sight. The sword and plough are the extensions of our arms. Only the book is an extension of our imagination and memory. So when we read a story, as I told in my previous video, when you are reading a story and understanding it, and if you imagine it, it is very useful. You can surely write your brief answers. It is with every subject you can do this thing. So imagination and memory, we would remember a longer period. If you see, now we believe that everything is on technology. We would search for a word, and after a few days we may forget. And again we have to go, if there is no internet or something problem is there with the technical issues, books, dictionary is there. From the dictionary only every meaning we were getting. So this is about his imagination memory. This they will ask for Philip's kind, they will ask, or choose the correct answer. And the last para is, well, you state in a memorable passage, literature is a dream. So what is literature means? Written works, especially those considered of superior, or books and writings published on a particular subject or something. Now we may see, so only speaking about what to say, a separate language like science, chemistry, only it speaks about the chemical reactions, chemical equations, whatever is there. So specifically literature also, those are the books, were written works. Okay, so he said it is true, literature is a dream, a controlled dream. Now he believes that we owe literature almost everything we are and what we have been, also what we will be. So because of these books only we have come up so much far, and we have developed ourselves with the technology, and in future also this will continue. So our past is nothing but a sequence, a continuous related dream. We will be dreaming, right? A past, whatever has happened, we will now, if you're present, if you think and see, it is dreaming only, right? Imagining, thinking. So what difference can there be between dreaming and remembering the past? I told, right? Dreaming and remembering the past. Books are the great memory of all centuries. Their function therefore is irreplaceable. If books disappear, surely history would disappear, and surely man would disappear. If books only disappear, if the further technology has grown, our past and all will be lost. We don't know. Now we are reading our histories, right? Past, the kings, queens, how the partition had become in each country is everything. Books are not there. Our history. In our future, many other people, many centuries after, in the 22nd, 23rd century and all, we people now living, they should get to know what are the achievements, what are the things which have been developed in this century. If books is not there, surely history will disappear. The people who are living in these past centuries and all, how we will get to know? And surely man would disappear. Really, man was living or not? Such a question may arise. Okay, so there are 24 conversations. In that, few major ones are taken and given here. So this is the end of this summary, and these are the questions which are often repeated in your exams. Those are 1 mark questions. Okay, and I forgot to say, one person has subscribed to my channel, Vaishali Mala. I thank her for subscribing to my channel, and you people also share with your friends, subscribe, so that it will be very informative to you people only. And please I won't say, Vaishali, if you are really understanding my video, then you can share with your friends. So if you have any doubts regarding this lesson, you can comment in the comment box whether you understood or didn't understand, or you have any teaching problems in this lesson. You can comment in the comment box, so that it will encourage me in doing my further videos. And once if you understand the lesson is more than enough, as I told, and it will be very helpful for you people to write your brief answers. And you can just glance once these question answer. If you want, you can note it down or pause the video and read it, whichever is comfortable to you people. If you glance this once, everything, the major points I have written as question and answers. If you see this once and go to your exam hall, it is more than enough, and you will remember your story also. And yeah, I have written all the lesson question and answers and I have stapled it together. So if you like this video, like, share, comment, and of course subscribe to my channel to get further new updates. Thank you.